Joey changed.
Heat up a little bit.
Keep me on my toes, is it? All right, come on up, guys.
One on each side, or?
Yeah, sure. Whatever looks good.
I don't know anything about that.
They didn't have any other taller troopers that you could choose from.
We could have brought Tim Jones down here from 911.
Yeah, he makes me look small every time.
He's like 6'7", I think.
Plus, I'm shorter, so
All right, everybody rolling? All right, joining me today is Deputy Flint Police Chief Jeff Ancliffe and Lieutenant Dan Neese of the Flint Post of the Michigan State Police. On Wednesday at 2:43 a.m., the Flint Police Major Crimes Unit, which is Flint PD and MSP, were dispatched to 744 East Philadelphia Avenue, reference a shooting. Upon arrival, officers found the victim a 2-year-old male with a gunshot wound to the head. The father, a 26-year-old, was at the house, according to officers on scene. The father said the child shot himself with an airsoft gun, which is a replica of a Glock pistol. Officers then followed the blood trail in the home to the upstairs bedroom, where they located a Glock 22 .40 caliber pistol. That gun was registered to a 31-year-old Flint man, not the father, who does not have a CPL. The gun was on a bed along with blood and what appeared to be brain matter. The 2-year-old was transported to Hurley Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at 3:04 a.m. Investigators determined that the father was with 2 cousins at the Philadelphia Avenue address earlier in the evening. One cousin was the aforementioned 31-year-old registered owner of the pistol. The other was his brother, a 25-year-old Flint Township man who does have a CPL. According to a search warrant, there was a strong odor of marijuana throughout the house, and investigators determined the 3 men had been smoking marijuana. We believe the brothers left the Philadelphia Avenue address at approximately 1 a.m. At some point, the child's father heard a gunshot and found the baby with the gun and a gunshot wound. The search of the home showed a trail of blood going from outside the home to the living room, where there was a large amount of blood and suspected brain matter. The blood continued up the stairs to the bedroom. Inside the bedroom, a bag of a leafy green product suspected to be marijuana was found. There was a loaded Glock 22 .40 caliber with a magazine loaded with 15 live rounds. There was a fired cartridge casing still in the magazine well of the pistol. There was a large pool of blood on the pillows and suspected brain matter. In the ceiling directly above the pillows was a bullet hole. Investigators retrieved a fired slug from the ceiling. Our victim is Omar Cortez Guy Jr., date of birth August 1, 2021. Arrest warrants for the father and the 2 cousins have been drafted by my office. Those warrants have been submitted to the 67th District Court, and we are awaiting review of those warrants. Anticipating approval, arraignments will follow. The father will be charged with violating Michigan's safe storage law causing death, which is a felony punishable by a maximum penalty of 15 years. Also, he will be charged with involuntary manslaughter. That's a fixed 15-year maximum penalty, also a felony. The father will also be charged with felon in possession of a firearm, a 5-year maximum, lying to a police officer regarding a violent crime investigation, a 4-year maximum, possession of a firearm while under the influence of a controlled substance, a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, and 3 counts of felony firearm which is a 2-year maximum mandatory and consecutive to any other sentence that a judge may impose upon conviction. The cousins will each be charged with violation of the safe storage law, with involuntary manslaughter, with possession under the influence of a controlled substance, and with 2 counts of felony firearm. As I tell you, in every instance, all of the suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, where we must show evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. With that, I'm going to ask Lieutenant Neese if he'd like to say a word or two.
It's short and sweet. First, I would like to thank the detectives from Michigan State Police in conjunction with the Flint Police Department in their investigation into this heartbreaking incident. The Michigan State Police wants to continue to stress gun safety in the home through the secure gun laws, but as well as education for having gun owners be responsible with their firearms. I'd just like to add that each MSP post has an allotment of pistol locks that are available to the general public. Anyone can show up to the post, ask for one of these gun locks, free of charge, no questions asked, and we push that to the community, where if you don't have a firearm lock for your firearm, please come see us and we'll make that available to you. Thanks.
Thanks, Lieutenant. You have any questions?
Were there any other children at the home?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you know why the firearm was left in the house?
We believe the firearm was brought in by one of the cousins, and we believe that the cousin left it behind. But under Michigan safe storage law, the owner of the premises is responsible if there's a minor child there, and the owner of the firearm is also responsible. So there is no excuse. You have to lock up a firearm and safely store it if there's a minor present. A 2-year-old is obviously a minor, and that didn't happen, and here we are. Another 2-year-old is dead. This is the second one we've had here in Genesee County since this law took effect on February 13th. You were all here when we had the little girl who got a hold of a gun and shot herself. I know that I stand with my partners in law enforcement. We're not kidding around here. If you do this, you're getting charged. And this is a terrible tragedy. A little 2-year-old guy, he's gone. And I'll say this else. Marijuana and firearms are a lethal cocktail. They don't mix. And anybody sitting around smoking marijuana should not also be in possession of a firearm. That alone is a crime, let alone the terrible, heinous crime of what happened here. I don't know what else to say. It's an awful situation. I wish I wasn't standing up here talking about this. But I want the public to know that I am going to enforce this law to the full.
Marijuana contributed to their negligence?
I believe that marijuana dulls your senses, and it probably makes you forgetful, not as careful. Your brain can't be possibly functioning fully, and maybe that's what led to the failure to safely store this gun. It's a bad mix.
I know there's a law and there's certain parameters that you have to meet for it to be safe storage, but what does that safe storage look like?
It means that you need to lock your gun in a securely locked box if there's a minor child in the house. It's very clear in the statute.
And again, I know it's a law, but for people at home who maybe think, who have a firearm in their home, maybe think, oh, I can watch my kids. I know that it won't happen to my kid. What do you want to say to them?
I want to say that they should review the statute. The Michigan State Police has gun locks. The City of Flint Police has gun locks. You need to lock your gun up if there's minor children in the house. I have heard the argument that, well, it makes me less safe because I need access to my firearm in case my family is threatened. My response to that is there are Lots of gun safes out there where all you have to do is put your fingerprint on a little spot, like how we open up our phones these days, and your gun safe will unlock. Buy a gun safe and put your gun in it.
Well, you touch on, kids are curious. The fact that when something is out there, kids don't know better.
Which is exactly why we have this law. Because a little child is going to be curious, they're going to get their hands on that gun, they're not going to understand the ramifications of pulling the trigger, and we're going to have a dead 2-year-old boy. That's what's going on.
Mom and oldest?
The mother? The mother was not there at the time. Last I knew, she was not in the county either.
And then can you give us the spelling of the child's name?
Sure. Omar, O-M-A-R, Cortez, C-O-R-T-E-Z, Guy, G-Y, Junior. We good? All right, thank you.